What's happening, YouTube? This is what would Josh do. In this video, we're going to be putting an SSD inside this computer. It currently does have the SSD in it. I've been using it. I'm going to put this 250 gig hard drive in there, and it's a 5,400 RPM drive. And we're going to compare how fast this thing starts up and how fast applications load compared to a traditional spinning hard disk. So this is officially the review of the OCZ SSD that I unboxed. I'll put a link in the description to that video. But you see how my desktop is. I will go ahead and open up the computer, and I will go to, it says 68.9 gigs free. So, and I'm also going to go to properties, or no, I'm going to go here and go to properties, and it says my system rating is a 3.8. Now, please keep in mind this is an i3. It is not a powerful machine. It uses the SATA interface, so we're not going to get the best speeds possible. But I promise you, you will immediately notice a difference in between the startup and shutdown and how fast applications load, and the fact that there's absolutely no spinning disk inside this computer at all right now. The only thing that's actually making noise is the fan, and once the computer's cooled down, that fan turns off and there's not a single spinning thing inside this computer. We could actually do this and the hard drive's not spinning at thousands of RPMs, so we don't have to actually worry about that hard disk getting damaged. Now, obviously, you don't want to bang your computer around. Just know that you can actually put it on your lap, put it on the table. You can move it around without worrying about that hard drive, that's spinning at thousands and thousands of RPMs getting messed up because there's nothing spinning. So let's go ahead and shut this down, and let's pull out the SSD, clone it with Clonezilla. I have Clonezilla on this little 2 gig flash drive, and I have about 42 gigs of used space, so that 42 gigs will actually be backed up onto the 64 gig drive. Let's go ahead and do it now. First, we actually need to take these 3 screws out that releases the keyboard. Every laptop's going to be a little bit different, or even desktop. You can use this in a desktop with an enclosure. Okay, so Crazy Me forgot that I first need to clone this freaking hard drive. So let's put this little 2 gig flash drive in there that has Clonezilla on it. And let's put the 64 gig flash drive in this slot. And let's boot it from USB. I wonder what happened there. Oh, I had the freaking, because this thing right here, it'll fit in both ways. So I had the data side like that, so it wasn't reading from it. Alright, now it's actually reading from that little 4 gig flash drive. Or 2 gig, sorry. Now everything's popping up. Let's try this one more time. Let's actually restart it. And we need to hold down the F12 key. Every computer is a little bit different. Now we should be able to boot from the USB. There we go, Clonezilla. I'm going to choose my language, which is English. Don't touch key map. Start Clonezilla. I'm going to be working, I haven't done the direct clone yet. The last time I tried it, it didn't work, but it was on the PlayStation hard drive, which I learned that you cannot clone. Well, at least you can't clone it using this software. Okay, so right here, we need to choose the home that we're mounting it to. It will actually be the 58.9 gigabytes EXFAT flash drive right there. And top directory, enter to continue. And then I'm going to choose beginner mode. And I'm going to do save disk. Save parts is for, like, say you have a small or big hard drive in there, but you have a small SSD. I actually had to originally do that, which was a pain in the butt, but you can actually take a bigger hard drive, like a 500 gig, consolidate your data, save the local partitions as an image, and then restore the partitions individually. It's a pain in the butt, but it is possible. Going from a smaller one to a bigger one is very easy. All right, now it's just a matter of waiting for this to finish, and then we can restore the image from the 64 gig flash drive to this 250 gig traditional hard drive. Okay, so we have successfully copied the 120 gig SSD onto this 64 gig flash drive. Well, what space that we actually used, since it's only copying that. So we're going to go ahead and press enter to continue, and then we're going to press 0 for power off, and then it's going to turn the device off. We're going to take the old hard drive out, well, the SSD, put the old hard drive back in there, and clone it, and then we're going to test how long it takes for the traditional hard drive to boot up, and then how long it takes for the SSD to boot up. Okay, so the device is off. You'll want to go ahead and disconnect it from the power, and then we're going to lift up on the keyboard where the hard drive is actually stored on this particular model, and then I'm going to disconnect the keyboard, pop out these 2 screws, and then the hard drive just comes out like I took the wrong one out. And then this just slides out, lifts up, and we're not going to take the housing off of it. You would just take off these 2 screws, and these 2 screws, slide it out, slide the new one in. To do that, we're just going to save some time, and for now, I'm just going to let it rest in there, since it's not going to be moving around or going anywhere. Hook the keyboard up, and just, make sure that it's in there. Slide the connectors down. All right, now we're going to power on, and we're going to press F12. Well, you gotta hook it up to the wall first. So we're going to power on. We're going to keep pressing F12. USB storage again. And we're just going to kind of do things in reverse order. And just to clarify, because I did mess up earlier, we're not using this hard drive. We're using a Samsung. It's still, it's like 250 gigs, and it's 5,400 RPM, just like this one, but it's made by Samsung, not Hitachi. Just so someone in the comments is like, oh, you're not using the same hard drive you said you were. All right, so English. Don't touch key map. Start Clonezilla. We're working with images. Use local server. Press enter. It's going. This is the time you want to put in any flash drives or external hard drives you want to clone or you want to restore. All right, and for the home, we're going to be choosing again the one that says you should not mount the partition you want to back up. We're not backing up the small drive, so we'll choose that. Top directory, enter continue, beginner. We're going to restore disk instead of save disk. There's the image that we just backed up. There's the hard drive we're restoring it to. A 250 gig Samsung 5,400 RPM drive. Press enter. It's going to ask us to type in yes or Y or whatever. And it's ask us one more time because we are formatting this disk. If you had any data on it, it's going bye-bye, and it's being restored byte for byte what was on this SSD. Now it's just a matter of waiting. There we go. Then you do it. I think there's like 3 or 4 different screens. I'll try to include a time lapse showing like everything. So yeah, there's like the second one, and then there's like 3 or 4 more. I don't know. Anyway, so let me put up a time lapse now. All right, so everything is done. We're gonna press enter, and then it's going to go ahead and ask us to power down. So we're gonna do that. And or you could use your boot or enter command line, start over, keeping the home partition, so like your flash drive in your, so maybe you need to restore multiple hard drives from that image, who knows, like if you're doing like, I don't know, a mass computer, I don't know, for like a business or something. So we just unplugged the boot drive, unplugged the 64 gig flash drive, or the Clonezilla boot thing, and now we're gonna see how long it takes to power this thing on. Let me go get my Evo 4 LTE, since it has a kickstand, so we can time all this. I was going to record this part with the Nexus 7, but it's currently dead as a doorknob, and you try to turn it on and it's like powering down. It doesn't even have enough charge, so let's get this video done so I can go pick up my black HTC One. Sprint just called me and told me it's ready for pickup, so let's go ahead and power it on. We just did the restore, so if everything works right, then we should have a booting computer. Sorry about the cable. My phone needs charged as well. I guess I could have just used my HTC One, my silver one. I'm trading it out for a black one today. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and fast forward through this, since this does take a while. Now, I don't know how well, because I focused on that, but there's the light right here. When this calms down, it's when I consider a computer fully booted, not when I, see the desktop. Okay, here we are, about 40, and I did hit it just a second late, unfortunately. So this is the very first power on since we did the restore. Oh man, almost a minute until we see the desktop. Come on, come on, come on. This is very, very slow. All right, I'm gonna speed this up, shut it down, turn it on, and just to show you that since we just did the restore, yeah, let's do that. All right, about almost 4 minutes into it, we're now seeing the desktop. Again, this is, immediately after I restored it, I restarted it, and this is what I see. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down and start it back up. But I just wanted to show you that the restore did work. We are in Windows. This drive could have had any other OS on it. It could have been a PlayStation hard drive. It could have been anything. And there we are. It is a completely like bit for bits copy of what we had before. But as you see, it's taking a long time for you to actually be able to click stuff. I'm getting a spinning wheel when I try to click on computer. And then properties. Spotify opens up. Initialize. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to stop talking, shut it down, and do this all over again once it's stable and booted up. All right, here we are. It looks like everything's stable. Let's go ahead and shut it down. And let's do this over again. All right, here we go. I got my HTC One, the silver one. Again, I'll be getting a black one here after this video, but I'm going to go ahead and hit the power button and start at the same exact time. And we have success. This one should go a little bit quicker than the previous one. This is a completely fair, this is a bit for bit restore of the SSD. So there's not a single file or anything that's different on either drive. So this is a perfect comparison. And I'll tell you what, I got so sick of waiting this long. We're already at 1 minute and 15 seconds, and I got sick of waiting this long just to be able to turn my computer on and, browse Facebook, get on the internet, and etc. Nobody should have to wait this long just for their computer to start up. Absolutely nobody. This is ridiculous and insane. All right, I'm going to go ahead and speed this up until we see the desktop. Wow. 3 minutes, 20 seconds into it, and I can now see my status bar, but no icons. This is definitely longer than it should take. Alright, icons are now starting to appear. The hard drive is still just absolutely working itself to death, trying to get everything started up. Alright, actually it looks like the hard drive is starting to, the light's starting to pause in between. Oh, 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes. There we go. Almost 6 minutes. The hard drive completely calmed down. We can go to computer and click properties and show you the experience index. Still says the same thing because it's a bit for bit copy. It doesn't detect any changes. All right. So about 6 minutes. And I thought that maybe the second boot would be better than that one, but apparently not. So we're looking at about a 6 minute time from the time our computer is actually usable. And This is a fresh boot. Absolutely fresh. Guarantee you if we open up Chrome, sorry, hit the wrong one. Guarantee you if we open up Chrome, let's do that. Let's open up Chrome. I clicked on it and the screen at the same time. And let's see how long this takes for everything to load. Come on, come on, come on. Just imagine your battery's about to die and you're like wasting 10 minutes of your day just to get, to your email or to your mentions or something. All right, and then we can load up YouTube. There we go. We're looking at about 40 seconds and the icons aren't even popping up yet. It's not. Look, it's still going. It's still going. We got icons 48 seconds. And it's still, look at that. That's insane. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. You can do it. All right, there we go. About a minute and 10 seconds. Now let's go ahead and take the hard drive out and put the SSD in there. Also, let's time how long this takes. Shutdown. Start. This doesn't take too long. About 18.9 seconds. So let's change out the hard drive, shall we? As you can see, that didn't take very long. So let's hit power and start at the same time. All right. I typically, when I'm watching like boot times, I go, okay, here's the starting windows, and I count that because some BIOSes can take forever to load. But since we are comparing, bit for bit copies of Windows, you can't really, I don't know, like it's not a different computer. This is the same BIOS. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. I'm having a hard time explaining it. So let's see how many seconds it takes until we see the desktop. Bam, 32 seconds. Let's wait for this light to calm down all the way. Let's see how long Spotify takes to open. Come on. Again, this is an i3. It's a Dell. That should speak for itself. And yeah, so check that out. The hard drive light's calm, less than a minute into it, about 55 seconds. Hard drive light is calm. I can actually go here and I can go to computer properties. Bam. Look at that. Look at how quick that is. Usually once you see your desktop, it takes a minute to be able to click all this stuff. So less than a minute for your computer to fully boot up and be usable the moment you do it. So let's reset it. And let's click on Chrome and start at the same time. All right. And once we see our interactions, I'll open up the YouTube tab. Okay, that's loaded. Let's open up YouTube. You remember how long it took to see the icons before? Look at that. Hard drive is calm. 20 seconds into it. That's just like, what more could you ask for in an SSD? I mean, seriously. And then, the shutdown, let's try that. Both of them at the same exact time. See how long it takes to shut down. I think we're at about 12 seconds before. Let's see. Done. Right there. 8 seconds. That's nuts. This test is going to show you like how long it takes from the moment you press the power button to the moment you're checking your email or something. So actually I'll do interactions because I don't want to show my email to the world. Here we go. This is a test. This is real world. Say you're in a hurry, you're trying to check your email, you want to see, if someone got back to you or if your phone shipped or whatever reason. Let's go ahead and come on. Come on, desktop. Come on, desktop. Come on. All right, so open up Chrome. Well, the internet's not even loaded, so hopefully it doesn't have any issues. There. Come on, internet. Come on, internet. The internet's not low. This is all the. Come on, test. Come on. There goes the internet. Look at that. A minute into it, and there's all my interactions. That's awesome. And I do want to stress something. I have an ASUS G74SX, and I played up this hard drive in there. And on Windows 7, I was looking at about a 14-second time from the moment I pressed the power button to the moment I saw my desktop and my hard drive was calm and nothing else was going on. Well, I wouldn't say nothing else is going on, but the moment I see my desktop, I can click on stuff, open up apps and programs, etc. And it took about 14 to 15 seconds. So inside, with the latest SATA interface in a i5 or an i7, you're looking at much better loading times than this. And this is still pretty impressive. I have no issues with this laptop anymore. Even though the fact that it's a Dell and it's kind of slow, this SSD sure does, help out a lot. And I could do this and my hard drive's not going to get any errors. Oh, another thing is, I promise you, with a fully charged battery, I get an extra about 50 minutes of extra battery life since this hard drive is not in my computer. It's spinning at 5,400 RPM the entire time you're using your computer. Nothing except the fan is spinning, and sometimes your fan's not spinning when your computer's not hot. So you're going to get better battery life. You're going to get a much faster booting computer. Programs are going to load insanely fast. There's absolutely no downside to having an SSD except for the fact that each gigabyte costs more than like a traditional drive. That's the only downside. But in my honest opinion, it is completely worth it. Absolutely worth it. You saw the differences it made. The startup, the shutdown, the reboot times, just about every aspect of this computer is way faster than it ever would have been with this 6 minutes until I could actually do stuff. And then it took like over a minute to launch Chrome, check my mentions. That's just too long. Nobody has that much time to wait for something to happen. Especially if your battery's about to die. What if you had, 8 minutes left in your battery? You just spent 95% of that, of that battery just turning your computer on, and now it's gonna hibernate and shut down on you. So links to this SSD will be in the description. Links to my unboxing will be in the description. Links to follow me on Twitter. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It's just a little click, but it lets me know you enjoyed the video. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do many types of videos like this, and I love this so much. If I have updates on my computer, it's like, oh, we need to restart your computer. I'm like, oh, okay, it's only going to be a minute of my time. It's not going to be 6 minutes of my time or even 5 or 4 minutes of my time. So, and my ASUS G74SX starts up in like 35 seconds with this SSD inside it on Windows 7. So I cannot stress how important it is to get an SSD. And yeah, that's about it. Again, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.